Riddle me this. We're talking about media and what's good about it for the industry and such, but there's an overload of information. What is your best advice to people when they're thinking about studying a project, who to talk to, how to do it, material, maybe doing it themselves? What's your best advice for them to know what information out there is legit versus what's not?
Listen, don't listen. Listen, but don't apply. Right? So for me, boy, I wish I could apply what I'm about to say more often when I'm reading things or when I'm looking at stuff online, because I tend to regurgitate information. So I'll look at something and then I'll turn around and I'll repeat it like word for word. What that does, though, is that creates, you're basically just a robot. You're just taking something in and spitting it back out. And that happens a lot with negativity. So what I would urge people to do, and from the beginning of me putting any information out there in the public, this is going to sound like I'm bouncing back and forth, but follow me for just a second. So whenever I make a video about doing something with tile, or whenever I talk about something on the podcast, I give a lot of advice. And some people are like, thanks, bud. Like, appreciate, like, okay, we get it. But here's what I hope from me putting out this information or me putting out these things out in the air, in the public. I hope that it inspires thought and creativity, not for people to repeat. I don't want anyone out there to feel like, oh, let me take these words Clint said and verbatim repeat them to somebody else, and then that somebody else is going to think I'm smart. Or take exactly what he did with this tile and do it myself and then go make money doing it. That is the opposite of what I'm hoping to achieve. What I really want is to inspire people to think for themselves, to do for themselves, to create new processes for themselves. So don't repeat what you hear. Don't take the perspective of I need to take this stuff and then regurgitate it out in another direction. Look at everything you see as a way to inspire yourself to create something new. So when you're listening to something about that's negative, it's very easy to just take that thing and then say, and then it puts you in a mood because your perspective is, I'm listening to this, I'm listening to this, I'm listening to this. You're not thinking about creating something new. You're not thinking about invoking yourself to write a paragraph of creative thought. You're not invoking yourself to paint a beautiful piece of art. Artists are amazing where they've got this incredible ability to take a very depressing, sad song and they play it for themselves. And then they turn around and they just make this beautiful piece of art and dramatic and dark and amazing. And what they've done is taken something that could be taken as, oh, I'm feeling so depressed now because I listened to this sad song, and they've turned it into a beautiful piece of art. Just like whoever wrote the song probably took a situation that was negative, that they could have taken it as being negative, and turned around and created this beautiful song. So if you look at things, all things, while you're reading and consuming information, because we consume a lot of it now, if you look at every situation as an opportunity to create, I think we're less likely to regurgitate this negativity.
With that in mind, give us maybe a taste then of what you would like to see from this latest season of this podcast, things you'd like to address, things you'd like to accomplish, messages you'd like to get out there.
So we're going through, I'm so excited for what King Tile is going through right now, because we're doing what I believe is one of the most creative things with a tile business that I could possibly think of. And I've always wanted that. I've had certain personal goals in my life, and I was always kind of felt like, well, tile's what I do, so this is what I'm going to do. But I'm just now, the last couple years, getting to a point where I'm taking what I do and I'm creating and I'm reinventing things and I'm looking at every different aspect of what we do, and I'm trying to catapult that to a place to do some of the personal things that I want to do. And I feel like right now I am in the middle of one of the most difficult, hard points of my life, and I've never been happier. I have a larger workload ahead than I ever have. I have more tasks and more things to get done, and I've never been happier about it.
It's a great spot to be in.
It's
Right.
it is a spot that I'm humbled by. I think how blessed that you are, like, every day. I think you are so fucking lucky. So lucky, because there's people with nothing to do and they're miserable. And that is the worst place to be. So, yeah, I feel very blessed, and I'm very thankful every day that I get to wake up. And the more I learn and the more I push and the harder I drive about business and about learning how to create something special, the more I realize I do not know. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. All right, guys, thanks for stopping in. As always, this has been the Tile Freak Podcast, and this is shit that I wish I heard when I was young. Like, subscribe, follow YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all the socials. You know where to go. DM me with any questions or subjects that you want me to talk about. I'd be more than happy to indulge you. Once again, this has been the Tile Freak Podcast, and now it is time for me to get back to work.